Man, we got another unfortunate subject that we got to talk about, and that's one Tiger Woods. Um,
You mean CJ from
obviously,
San Andreas?
What did you just say?
and you talk about me and BRF being unprofessional.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
I'm just gonna keep this real short and simple with Tiger. Remember, me and my mom. Shout out to Mama PSP. Love Mama PSP. Chip, is it true that he took a breathalyzer test and that it was 0, but he refused to take the urine test? I know he refused to take the urine test. My thing is with Tiger, it's not the first time you've had issues with cars.
Mm.
Remember 2021, that February car crash in Los Angeles? Then 4 years before that incident, let's not forget Jupiter, Florida. And that mugshot you took that night was just as bad as that mugshot recently from last week. And let's not forget the whole situation in 2009 when you inadvertently ran your car into a fire hydrant because of what happened. Tiger, you worth $1 billion. You join Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, former or current athletes to be worth $1 billion. Tiger, I think given how much money that you have, you're 50. Tiger also is stepping away from golf to work on himself, mental health or whatever. God bless him. In all seriousness, we're happy no one is not dead or severely injured. God forbid. It's disappointing that Tiger would put himself in another situation. No, Dwayne. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Oh no!
Stop. We're not doing
You
that.
got to
We're
chill,
not.
bro.
Oh
Chill, Dwayne. That ain't right.
no!
That ain't
We're
right.
not.
You ain't. You ain't
No,
one
we're not.
quarter.
We're
Chill
not
out,
doing
bro.
that. We're
Chill
not doing
out.
that.
That ain't right.
But
You
in
know
all
it ain't right.
seriousness,
Oh.
in all seriousness, Tiger, he needs to have a personal driver. Tiger really needs to get some help. In all seriousness, we are lucky that no one was severely injured or worse, dead. Because, I mean, with Tiger, man, it's just really unfortunate. And it's just sad, man. Because you would have thought Tiger, after what happened, you would have thought he would have turned around his life. But Tiger, enough is enough, man. No. In all seriousness, champ. In all seriousness, it's sad.
It is
considering what he has been through. And I mean, look, man, your family, your friends. Why would you put yourself in another situation involving behind the wheel of a car? Can you imagine what your kids could have went through?
Man.
The rest of your family, your friends. And we always say on the show, right before we end the show, please don't drink and drive. Please be careful. Please be responsible, because God forbid, we don't want to hear anybody getting severely injured or dead.
Exactly.
Tiger is lucky that that he's not dead and he didn't put anyone else in harm's way. I just hope for Tiger, he finally comes to the realization, I need some help. I have the money to get myself a personal chauffeur or driver with me. Even though you may say, well, Tiger's his own man, he's 50 years old. Considering the circumstances, considering his history, I think it's time for Tiger to have someone to drive him. Because unfortunately, we can't trust you. That's all I'm going to say regarding this situation. But big fella, your thoughts?
Dwayne, I'm gonna get you later on. I'm gonna get with you offline. But
Oh,
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
Tiger, man, look. There's a lot of controversy throughout your career. A lot of controversy. A lot of it wasn't your fault, but some of it was. Got to make responsible decisions because you could be laying in a pine box right now. Let's just be clear. Just to keep it blunt with you. You could have seriously injured yourself or somebody else. Since the car did a rollover.
Could have died.
You know, I mean, the car did a rollover because when they first said a rollover, I didn't think that it was DWI. I just thought it was like, oh man, he was involved in a rollover. But the fact that you did a rollover, you could have seriously hurt yourself. Ain't no drink, no pills, no yak, no herb worth you going 6 feet under because of none of that. Especially when you got a bunch to live for. You got kids, you got your career, you're still one of the big faces of the sport, regardless of you being in Nike or not. And let's just be clear, man. People still look up to you and look at you as a role model, regardless. So
He was big time since, remember, when he was a little kid, a prodigy. Remember he was on some type of show, That's Incredible show, I think Mike Douglas or something, by the age of 3. Of course, 97, that was the year when he won the Augustus. It's just sad. I'm sorry, Jeb, go ahead.
No, it's okay. You was absolutely right. And you gotta think about the example that you're setting for your son right about now and the bullshit that he's gonna end up taking because of you.
Exactly.
Now
And he's gonna have to deal with the press.
Yeah, because now he's a golfer. And if it's not, if I'm not mistaken, he probably is gonna end up going pro. So I don't need people asking me about the actions because of you. I don't need people as a son because the thing is, that's the last thing you want to be able to deal with. Them asking you about your father, them asking you about this, asking you about that because, you 50-some years old and you just can't get your act together. How we say down south, you too old for that shit. Let's just be real. You too old for that shit, bro. Look, you got plenty of money. Now, for broke folks, hey, we may not be able to afford a ride home. That's the reason why a lot of guys get DUIs. It's not condoning DUIs, but, they can't afford a ride home. They can't afford a taxi. They just filled up their tank and went to the club. Hey, they probably, although it's inexcusable, you could look at it and say they may not have had a way home. But for you're a billionaire. And look, man, let's just be real. You got clout, man. Look at who you dating. Yeah, call your future father-in-law, tell him to get you a little private plane or something down there. Do something. I mean, look, use your resources. I mean, I'm just saying. Look, if I am dating somebody and I know they got clout like that, guess what? I'm gonna give somebody a call. Look, I'm drunk. I don't know. I'm discombobulated. Get me a car. They'll do it. Use your resources, man. Regardless, look, if you knew somebody powerful, it's kind of, let's just say one of us make it big out of the group and you stuck somewhere in a bad situation. You're not going to call one of us? Yeah. Regardless of who it is. It might not be a popular decision, but guess what?
You just being slick because you're bringing up who he currently dating with.
Again,
we know you.
No. But use that power that you have. If you dating somebody powerful and you are a powerful man yourself, then guess what? Use it in order to get yourself out of a situation. Especially if you can prevent. It's better to be proactive than reactive.
But big fella, what does it say? No, I understand that, big fella, but what does it say about the person who's refusing to use the power, knowing that he has it, he or she?
Exactly. That's the thing. Use your power and use your money. You know damn well you ain't equipped to be going out there. You've been drinking Long Island iced teas all night. Come on, man. I mean, and like I said, there's no judgment. But the thing is, I don't want you getting in trouble because guess what? A lot of cats, because of how you kicked their ass back in the 90s and the early 2000s, they already want to see you fall. They've had the unfortunateness in order for them to see you fall. And it can only get worse from here. That's why I say the things that I'm saying, because I don't want him to get in trouble. And I don't want his son to have to deal with the press that's going to come with it. You don't want to, that's the thing. One of the things that motivated me to kind of stay out of trouble is I didn't want to embarrass my mom. I didn't want to embarrass my dad. I didn't want to embarrass Ace. I didn't want to embarrass them. So yes, I moved through life a little bit scary, but on the flip side of that coin, I wasn't getting in trouble. And look, man, the internet is undefeated, bro. The internet is undefeated.
Well, man, all I'm gonna say is I saw Tiger Woods meme, and all I'm gonna say is E.T., homie, E.T. Bless it.
Why he look like OJ on one of them damn things though, man? I'm just asking,
bro.
He look like OJ on one of them. Like,
honestly though, when you look at sports figures, when you look at figures in general, he has to be one of the most disappointing when you consider he might arguably have one of the greatest individual peaks in the history of individual sports. When you look at golf, when you look at tennis, sports like that, he may have the greatest peak ever. When you look at that 99 to 2000, when he won the Tiger Slam, when he won all four back to back to back to back, even though it wasn't like in a calendar year. The fact that the single fact that he won the PGA, the Masters, the British, and the US Open in a line back to back. I mean, it's arguably the greatest singular peak in any individual sport ever. And just 14 career majors. I still feel like one of my favorite moments of his career, when he won the what year was it? 2014, 2015. When he came back and won the Masters, when nobody was expecting him to come back and win the Masters, and he comes back and wins the Masters. Like you think, and I mean, it just in the style he did it, in the way he did it, he looked healthy again. He looked happy again. He looked like he was ready to make like a second win kind of run, and just seeing him in this position now, it almost breaks my heart a little bit because of what he should be right now in terms of the game of golf as a whole. He should be one of the ultimate ambassadors for that sport. And like when you see the pro-ams, when you saw him and his son Charlie play, that boy is already good at his age. He is already uber talented. And why wouldn't he be? Arguably the greatest golfer in the history of the game is your father. I mean, how are you not picking his brain? How did you not inherit some of those physical attributes to the table? I mean, just seeing Tiger Woods in the state he's in right now it's unfortunate, and it's really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing because y'all brought it up, like the fact that Charlie is gonna have to deal with this. This is one thing a lot of parents don't always really seem to understand. When they get into stuff, especially stuff like Tiger Woods has, and they're in the public eye, who's gonna bear the brunt of the bullying and all that stuff the most? The kids. The kids are who's gonna get that. Because let me tell you something, I hate to say it like this, but we've seen it growing up. We've been in schools. Kids are evil. Kids can be kids.
You know how they are with social media, especially when they show the phones.
Kids don't care. Kids can be some evil entities.
Hey, I know that because I was an evil kid.
Man,
because I talk about you back in the day.
Man, let me tell you something. As a person that's been on the receiving end of his fair share of bullying, I got bullied a lot growing up. Kids can be evil, bro. So it's like you can only imagine how Charlie's feeling at the time like this, seeing his dad going through all this stuff, seeing his dad basically becoming an internet meme. Like, how does that weighs on somebody? especially someone that wants to really be on the come up like him. Like, like if anybody needs to look in the mirror and do some soul searching right now, it's Tiger Woods. And I hate to really bring up the internet meme, and it's like, and it's not necessarily like I'm like making fun of him like that, but it's like it's out there for everybody to see now. So hopefully,
He did it to himself.
Exactly, he did. He's got nobody else to blame for this but himself. So he needs to. This has got to. You hope him being 50 years old. This hopefully is that kind of litmus test to really, hopefully, get him back in line, man. Don't drive, private chauffeur, leave whatever you're doing alone and focus on yourself. Get healthy. I mean, you've had a few injuries. You know, nurse yourself to health. Focus on yourself. Get yourself right. Cause honestly, I mean, is he way past winning majors and stuff like that? Yeah, he probably is. But just be an ambassador to the game. You know what I'm saying?
Be a mentor to your son. Like,
Yeah,
the most important thing that you can do. Pass the torch to your son. You know, y'all can be.
Boy, the water's keeping me going. I feel good.
So, but yeah, be an ambassador to the game, like BRL said, and especially now that your son is in the game, you can be kind of like how Bronny James is in the NBA. You could be how Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. was. You could be how Willie Mays was. You know, you can do a lot of great things in there, considering that your son is great. Your son is not a nepo baby. Your son is not.
He's a well-proven commodity.
He's a hell of a
golfer. The thing is, Tiger.
He's a hell of a golfer.
The thing is, Tiger. You mean a lot to a lot of young golfers and to a lot of role models. Why would you? And you've had the history. Why would you put yourself in that type of situation? Definition of insanity is doing something more than once and expecting a different result, right?
Yes, indeed.
And with Tiger, it's so disappointing. Not just with his son, the rest of the family. The rest of the family, they have to deal with the embarrassment because Tiger, unfortunately, because of what he did, to your point, the internet memes, the AI video clips, people are not going to forget that, not anytime soon.
No, they are not.
They're going to keep on strolling. And when you got Dwayne over here with them comments that he just posted, it's going to intensify.
Dwayne, love you to life, bro, but that was cold-blooded.
That was 50 Cent.
In the words of Ron Simmons, damn.
But again, to Dwayne's point, Tiger did it to himself. Tiger has no one to blame but himself. And the people around him, you're like, if you know that he's had problems before, who's in his way to say, nah, man, we love you. We don't want you involved in another situation, another predicament again, man. It's just disappointing. I hope it's a teaching lesson for everyone.
Yeah. A lot of times when you're in that life, though, when you got all that damn money, you're a billionaire, a lot of the people that are around you, you're paying. So they're scared to kind of tell you what you need to be. But I think the late great Prince said it best. Your greatest advisors are not on your payroll. Your greatest advisors are not on your payroll. Get some people who are not on your payroll, who's not depending on you to get that dollar to get you into these special places and stuff like that. And yeah, do that.
You gotta stop surrounding yourself with yes men.
Yeah,
because if you keep surrounding yourselves with yes men, you're not gonna get far.